the law of sines. The law of sines works provided you have at least one side and an angle across from that side. So as long as you, and I would use it as much as I can. As long as I have an angle and a side across from each other, I can use it because I know 2 out of the 3 pieces of the ratio at all times. The law of cosines is for those instances in which I don't have an angle across from it. Let's see. Okay, so there's 2 ways in which we use the law of cosines. If you're given 3 sides, so side, 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 that's one way in which we use the law of cosines because as you can see, I wouldn't have any of the angles in order to solve it, but I could find the angles. All right? The second way the law of cosines works is if I know this, this, and this. Side, angle, side. All right? That means then, again, I don't have an angle and a side across from each other, but I start by finding this side here, and then I work with it. Okay? Now, I could write out, in each case, I could write out the equation for all 3 sides, but instead I'm going to just write out the equation for side A, and then I'll explain how it changes for side B and side C. Okay? So if I was looking for side A, that means that I would have side C given to me and side B given to me, as well as angle A. So the law of cosines is A squared equals B squared add C squared. So that looks a lot like your Pythagoras' theorem, but it's not because you don't have a right angle. Subtract 2BC times the cos of A. Okay? This side here and this angle here will be across from each other at all times. So to change this, if it's B squared then, it becomes B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC times the cos of B. All right? So rather than giving you all 3, you're at a level right now that you should be able to just manipulate it the way it is. Now, what happens if I'm looking for the angle? Let's say I'm given all 3 sides. Okay, so let's start like this. I'm gonna isolate this. So I'm gonna do this all in 2 steps. Okay? So start me off here, Alexander.
A squared minus B squared minus C squared.
Perfect. Excellent work. There you go. Okay? I subtract and subtract that. So that gives me A squared minus B squared minus C squared. And then I have to divide by minus 2BC to put it here. So again, if this is B here, that becomes B squared right there. And this is AC. This is C here. That becomes C here. AB. So it just depending on what you're doing. Now remember, I don't always label triangles ABC. I could label them DEF. Doesn't matter. I need to know how to put them into the equation with what I'm looking for and trying to solve for, and then go from there. Go ahead, Paige.
Don't you have to put negative cos in the second equation too?
Yeah,
Because it's an
yeah, that's right. That's a very good point. Okay, that gives me cos of A. That doesn't give me A. To get A, I would have to put second function cos of all of this. So that's a good point. I don't like to write that up, but I will so that you can see it. But realistically, this is what I want here. Now, this is and I'm going to put this on down kind of keystroke wise as to what I want to see. So you're going to open a bracket there. You're going to open a second bracket for the top part. Close that bracket, hit divide, open a bracket for the bottom, and close that bracket a second time. So these would be your keystrokes when finding this guy right here. Now again, you don't get that, all right? You're going to get the two equations here, but you won't get the keystrokes there. But that's how you do it if you've got a graphing calculator, okay? That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go cos negative 1, open two brackets. The second bracket represents the top, close it, divide, open bracket, close, close. And then it equals 4. Okay? All right, any questions so far? Okay, again, this is a review. Okay, we've done this. Okay, so let's have a look then. First question is on page 95. It gives you your triangle. $155, I think, 150, is that right? And I want to find x. Okay, so x squared is equal to 100 squared plus 50 squared minus 2 times 100 times 50 times the cos of 155. What do I have to remember to do in this one? Square root it. Okay, so let's use our calculators and punch it in so that we know what we're doing. So second function square root, and then 100 squared plus 50 squared minus 2 times 100 times 50 times cos 155. Close your bracket.
$146.844.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, if we don't have that, put up your hand so I can check your calculator work.
And open bracket right here.
No, it's funky,
Look at the
right?
top here.
You can do everything
That
backwards.
gradient right there,
Every function has to be hit backwards.
you have to have that in degrees, or you'll never.
It makes it difficult. Well, I don't agree that I it's just switching keys. So confusing. The right way. I'm just gonna die. I don't know.
Okay, so make sure you have that extra bracket underneath the square root. You gotta open a bracket. Okay, we okay?
Yep.
All right, so then the little more complicated part, just calculator work-wise, is when given the triangle and the three sides, and you've got to find an angle, okay? So it gives us 14, 20, 15. It wants us to find A, okay? So I start by going cos A is equal to, and the first value is always the one across from it. And then the other two go in here.
Excuse me, Nick, go to room 6, please. Nick, go to room 6.
So second function cos, open your brackets up. 20 squared minus 14 squared minus 15 squared, close the bracket, divide, open bracket, minus 2 times 14 times 15, close the bracket, close the bracket. Okay, what do we get?
87. 1, 3, 4.
1, 3, 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody got that? Okay, all right. And the last one, just choose your method. And example 4, that's good enough. I don't think I need to go through this. Okay?
I've done this.
Yeah, you've done enough of this work already. You should be okay. Any problems yesterday?
This always is.
Yeah, this is a fairly quick chapter.
The important part of this chapter, because you've done it and applied, is, those first 2 parts, because they lead in. We don't do law of sines or law of cosines again in grade 12. You just do all of that unit circle work in grade 12. So that's the important part for this. Okay? So we'll blast through the sine and the cos, and then from there you've got just that first part to look at. Okay? All right, so let's finish this up today. We're probably looking at a Thursday test next week, because you're Tuesday, Wednesday. All right? For your review days. Okay?
I was gonna say Monday.
All right.
There's a score.
No, like any day.